The learned elder statesman, Professor Wole Soyinka, he is scared in advance about what what good Peter Obi will bring to Nigeria. He's scared in advance that the end is still looking very likely for his principle, for bad governance. And what Soyinka is doing now is an attempted distraction, which I beg you to excuse me from joining issues with Wole Soyinka, please. You and I have much, much better things to do. For all I know, he could continue to throw punches at my principal, at me, as small as I am. He could continue to do that. All I can do, I will grieve in my heart, I will pray for him. You see, intellect does not give you the right to insult anybody. As a partial academic, let me tell you that Nobel laureates all over the world are loved and cherished by their people, not just their nationals, globally. I have never heard where Nobel laureates are insulted in the manner that Wole Soyinka is. You're making me to speak about him, I don't want to. Now, go back. Nigerians contested through Peter Obi and me. We said this many, many times. It was a force that came alive, a genuine one, a powerful one, that won election and was taken away. Never mind what INEC declared. There is no way Peter Obi, with all the issues in front of him, and my humble self, can control obedience as they were. Peter Obi entered a canoe without a life jacket, and he paid for it. So it is not the work of Peter Obi to control the obedience. It is the responsibility of Wole Soyinka to maintain his respect and dignity. I could say a few things to Wole Soyinka that will destroy him for good, but I wouldn't say that.
Nobel laureates all over the world are respected, but Professor Wole Soyinka has turned himself into a piece of mockery. And I quite agree with what Datti Ahmed is saying, because Wole Soyinka, I don't know if he just loves to put himself on the spotlight. And there was something he said that actually got my attention. And that is the fact that he said Wole Soyinka is scared of the new Nigeria that Peter Obi wants to bring. Wole Soyinka is scared that Peter Obi is going to destroy the structure of criminality. Wole Soyinka is scared that the people he associates with will no longer hold with power. That is the reason why he tends to pick after Mr. Peter Obi on a daily basis. And I agree strongly with him with this, with this reasoning of mine. I agree strongly with him with this reasoning of mine.
Adversarial politics always breeds division and enmity. Even when what President Jonathan is doing, which 10 or so years after, all the political parties in this country agreed with. They even put it in their manifesto. Subsidy must be removed. Subsidy must be removed. Subsidy must be removed. We in ACN at the time in 2012, we know the truth, sir. But it is all politics.
I decided to play this video to you to give you a clue of what I want to say next, because what Kayode Fayeme is saying is that in 2012, the protest that occurred in 2012 against the fuel subsidy was all politics. It was not because they wanted to save the country, like with the placard they were carrying, Save Nigerian Group, no. Occupy Nigeria, no. It was all about politics. They knew fuel subsidy ought to go. But if they have allowed it to go, then they would have given Goodluck Jonathan a leverage, a hedge over the economy. He would have transformed the economy with the money that would have come out from the fuel subsidy, and they had to play politics with it. Now, why am I talking about it? Because one man was vocal about Goodluck Jonathan's regime, Professor Wole Soyinka, and we all know that Goodluck Jonathan's regime was one of the most stable regimes we had in this country. Regime full of intellectuals that was transforming the economy. In 2012, Nigeria economy was rated the third fastest growing economy in the world, alongside India and China. But here they turn it to a tribal and a political fight against Goodluck Jonathan. And guess what? Wole Soyinka was on the forefront. Wole Soyinka was so vocal about Goodluck Jonathan. He criticized him at every time, even calling his wife a sheep-hippopotamus. He was so vocal, calling out the ease in Goodluck Jonathan regime, and he was at the forefront protesting against the removal of fuel subsidy. Wole Soyinka ought to understand. He had the intellectual capacity to understand the importance of the fuel subsidy. He should have seen through that it was all politics, but it shows that he was part of the game. Yes, his presence in that protest was able to convince gullible Nigerians to protest against Goodluck Jonathan. Most Nigerians do not understand what was going on, but the elites that were at the forefront, people like Falana, people like Tunde Bakare, people like Wole Soyinka, and so many other elites in this country that protested against that fuel subsidy, helped to convince gullible Nigerians to occupy major cities in the country against the fuel subsidy. Alright, Goodluck Jonathan left seat. President Muhammadu Buhari came in. Since Buhari came in, Wole Soyinka has lost his voice. And Buhari regime, 8 years of Buhari regime has been the worst that Nigeria has ever experienced. Insecurity, even the fuel subsidy they are talking about has become a calamity, but yet Wole Soyinka has not spoken. He has been silent in all the negative ills that is happening in the country. Tinubu has taken over from President Muhammadu Buhari, and the economy has gone down the drain. Fuel subsidy has been removed. Wole Soyinka did not speak. He has not spoken about the ease of the government. Even when that fuel subsidy was removed, he did not speak. He was asked about Tinubu administration, and he said he's going to give him 1 year. But he was the one that went and protested against Goodluck Jonathan. What does that tell you about his personality? It means that Wole Soyinka is against good governance. That is the truth. He's against good governance, and Wole Soyinka represents majority of the elite in this country. They want to continue to enjoy the status quo of Nigeria. Now, how does the status quo of Nigeria represent? The status quo of Nigeria represents the enjoyment of the privileged few. The economy of this country is being controlled by the privileged few. You can't compare the economy of Nigeria to other Western countries where wealth is distributed evenly. But here in Nigeria, it's in the hands of the privileged few. And these people, they want to hold on to this wealth. They don't want it to be liberalized. They don't want other Nigerians to, enjoy what they are enjoying. They want to be seen as a Lord and Savior. That is the reason why Wole Soyinka went on the plane. You heard the news and asked a young man that was sitting where he wants to sit to stand up. The young man was already seated there, but Wole Soyinka walked up to him and asked him to stand up, but the young man refused. Classism. They want to maintain that level of classism, because if the economy is liberalized and everyone is meant to have a good share of the economy, people will not recognize who is above each other in our society. That is the truth. That is the truth. They want to keep lording over one another. And that is the reason why they will never support a good governance. They will never support a governance that is people-centric. They will never support a governance that will help pull people out of poverty. They will never do that. If they see anybody that want to liberate this country, they will fight that person. That was the reason why they fought against Goodluck Jonathan. Because tell me why you will fight someone who was growing the economy to become the 3rd fastest growing economy in the world. Tell me why you will fight against that person. But somebody came and destroyed the economy. You did not say anything. Tinubu is destroying the economy currently. Wole Soyinka have not spoken about him. In a time when people are contemplating about Tinubu's 1 year in office, they are trying to, have a retrospect of what had happened, trying to recollect if they made a mistake about voting Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if they will keep on having faith in him. Boom, Wole Soyinka came in and began to talk about P2B. It is pure distraction. He's putting P2B on the spotlight so that people will not see Tinubu's ills. They will not see Tinubu maladministration. They will keep seeing Peter Obi. It's all distraction. Wole Soyinka is playing to a script, and it's unfortunate that someone who is a Nobel laureate has turned himself to be a puppet in the hands of politicians. He's being used. He's distracting people not to pay attention to what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. Just yesterday, the Ministry of Works announced that they will no longer continue with the original alignment after they've destroyed businesses worth millions of dollars. This is something Nigerians ought to be talking about. This is something Nigerians ought to criticize the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu for. But they are not doing it. They are talking about Peter Obi. why Nigerians should be scrutinizing 1 year in office of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, why they should be scrutinizing the ministers of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, why they should be scrutinizing the achievement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are busy talking about Peter Obi, and this was all made possible by one man, Wole Soyinka. Why is he bringing Peter Obi in the picture? Is Peter Obi the president? Does Peter Obi have any executive power? Why is he bringing Peter Obi in the picture when Nigerians should be focusing on more important things to talk about? Things that are affecting their life. What has Peter Obi got to do with Nigerians? Is Peter Obi's movement, is it affecting Nigerians? Is Obedient affecting Nigerians? Is Obedient responsible for the devaluation of the currency? Is Obedient responsible for the insecurity in the land? Is Obedient responsible for the inflation? The man that is responsible for the inflation, they are not talking about him. They are talking about someone that has absolutely no power to control anything politically in this country. Why are they talking about him? It's because they want to distract Nigerians from focusing on the main thing, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigerians should be holding Bola Ahmed Tinubu responsible for destroying the economy. They should be holding Bola Ahmed Tinubu responsible for reducing the purchasing power of the people. But Wole Soyinka do not want you to focus on his principal. He doesn't want you to focus on his brother, his Emiloko. He doesn't want you to focus him. He wants you to be blind to all that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing and focus on Peter Obi that does not even have any influence over what is happening in the country. That is the kind of Nobel laureate we have. Unlike what we have all over the world. Nobel laureates are supposed to be game changer. They are supposed to be influencer. They are supposed to influence positive change in a society. But the Nobel laureate we have in Nigeria is a different one. He has turned himself into mockery. He has turned himself into a laughing stock. He made himself available to be insulted. Because if he has conducted himself in a respectable manner, nobody will come out to insult him. He's not the only literary icon we have on the world. Chinua Achebe is the literary icon. How many times these people coming out to insult Chinua Achebe? He respected himself and gave valuable assertion when it comes to the politics of the day, and no one insulted him till he left the earth. Why is Wole Soyinka different? Wole Soyinka should respect himself. He's an elder statesman and he should conduct himself in that manner. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.